Hey, hey, hey. It's Filter Free Friday, y'all. Listen, I'm glad y'all here. It is the day after the holiday. I am curious to know how things went for y'all. Lately, I've been seeing a meme that's been going around that said something to the effect of we can disagree about things like pizza toppings, but we can't disagree about things like who I am as a person and inherent values. And I think it's important. I got to get my little sheet together today because I'm going to draw some pictures again. I think it's important for us to talk about values and because I know some people absolutely did not spend time with family because they believe that their family doesn't share their values because of how they voted. Um, And while not on that big of a scale, right? I don't know that I have um, these massive amount of people who vote differently than I do in my family. And I say I don't know because if they did, they probably ain't talking about it. But when I'm talking in organizations about values, there's a couple things that I think are important. So just like if I got my values here, my values, and then I got other people's values, others' values. If your value systems are completely separate like this, then I can see how you like, listen, I ain't trying to talk to that person ever, not trying to engage with them ever. But what I think sometimes we're looking for is for it to look like this, that I've got my values and everybody else that I exchange with, that their values should almost completely overlap with mine. And this is just not how things of the world work. It's very uncommon for two people to have the entire same list of values. But what I think we should strive for is like I've got my values here and you have your values, and that there's our other people's values, and that there's this space where we overlap, where we can really make progress right here. Because I used to go to Thanksgiving dinner, and if you said something I disagreed about as it related to reproductive freedom, as it related to love is love, if it was related to the fact that I have friends who are Buddhist and Hindu and Jewish and Muslim and all the things, and you were like exclusionary, every single time it came up, I'd be like, nah, you over here and I'm over here every time. And I've been working on this project, not for very long, but this idea that we argue to be right when we really want to be happy. And I think sometimes that what we need to do is think about what it would look like to be effective over being right. I feel very strongly about reproductive freedom. I feel very strongly about anti materialism. I feel very strongly about the environment. I feel very strongly about people's ability to be who they are from a sexual orientation standpoint. I feel very strongly that my faith is not greater than somebody else's faith in whoever they believe their God is, or not at all. And because I feel so strongly about it, and because I know how sometimes people can call other folks stupid who don't agree or share the same values that they have, I know that I have either lived experience or study to help me land where I'm landing on my values. And so sometimes I have to be careful because I will assign ignorance to people who do not agree with my values. And while many times that's true, how effective am I if I'm going into conversation and I'm trying to persuade someone on that idea? I'm not going to be very effective. And what I've come to learn is that for those of us who are trying to make the world a place where more people feel like they belong, too often the bridge is too narrow for people to be able to get on. It's like if you disagree with me on one value, you know, then I'm like kicking you out, like out you go. Or if you, and let me use proper language, if you share a value that is different from one I share, then I'm kicking you out. Meanwhile, hatefulness is very plain. Hatefulness is not nuanced. Hatefulness is simple. And hatefulness is like, if you hate who I hate, let's get together. And quite frankly, um, you can have a whole bunch of other things that you care about, but as long as we can get together around who we hate, we're gonna work together. And I feel like for people who are trying to make the world a place where more people feel like they belong, it's the bridge is too narrow. Somebody can have one thought and you're like, I ain't talking to you. Somebody can have ignorance in one space and we're like, off the island. And I think I'm still working this out, but I think the the way where we can find ways to bring our families together is to find this sweet spot where we agree and spend a lot of time there so that people are open to having conversations about those values for which we don't see things the same way, when we don't have the same level of awareness. And I would argue that yesterday, as I was attempting to eat my own cooking and not be hypocritical and really focus on, okay, what do I know I value? And I'm super clear on those things. What do I know other people value? And what are the things that other people value? See, it doesn't have to be my values and other people's values like that. There are a few people in the world where that's true. But what I know for sure is that my values and other people's values don't lay on top of each other like this. That it's more often going to be like this. And that this beautiful overlap is the beautiful space for us to be able to come together and make a wider bridge for more people to be able to get on. I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think, but I hope you made it through. Well, if you're listening to me, you made it through just fine. Um, there's the major value I have around this idea. In fact, I'm going to choose effective. I'm not going to go deep into that today, but I have a major value that I have that I feel like um, several people in my life are not honoring at this moment. And so, because of that, I am choosing where I want to spend my holidays so that I can, work on bringing people together. I'm curious to know what y'all think about it. Okay. And we've got some additional holidays to make it through. But don't y'all let materialism be the thing that causes y'all to um, feel additional regret or not be able to make peace with things, or honestly not be able to do the things that you've been positioned to be able to do, because 2025 is right around the corner. I'm trying to stay grounded and finish what I was doing in 2024 before I start looking too far ahead. But I made it through Thanksgiving. I hope to know that y'all made it through too, and tell me what you think, because I'm working on this project. And if you've got questions about what I just shared, let me know what they are so that I can address them in this new piece of work. All right, y'all, it's Filter Free Friday. We got work to do.